If you've ever walked into a friend's house and thought, wait, this looks exactly like my living room. Same pillow, same blanket, same wall art from the same store. I'm about to explain why that keeps happening. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to make it stop. A few years ago, I looked around my apartment and realized nothing in it actually felt like mine. Every pillow, every blanket, every little decoration came from the same 2 or 3 stores that everyone else shops at too. So I picked up a crochet hook, which up until that point I only used for scarves, and I started making things for my home instead of buying them. What happened after that changed the way I think about decorating completely. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do the same thing, even if you've never made anything with yarn before in your life. Here's something nobody really says out loud. Most home decor you buy in a store is made in a factory, in bulk, in the exact same pattern as thousands of other pieces. It's not made for your house. It's not made for your colors or your space or the way you actually live. It's made to sell fast and get replaced fast. That's the whole business model. Buy it cheap, watch it fall apart in a year, buy another one. And that's exactly why so many homes end up looking like copies of each other. Same big box store, same catalog, same 50 products getting shipped to a million different addresses. Now, when people hear the word crochet, they usually picture one thing: a grandma in a chair making a blanket that's a little scratchy and a little outdated. And sure, that's part of the history. There's nothing wrong with it. But that picture is such a tiny slice of what crochet can actually do for a home. Crochet isn't just blankets and scarves anymore. It's baskets, it's plant hangers, it's rugs, it's wall art, it's pillow covers, it's even lampshades and curtains. It's an entire decorating tool that most people have never even considered. And once you start seeing it that way, you can't really unsee it. So let's actually get into it. Let's talk about the specific things you can make, starting with the easiest ones and working up to the pieces that genuinely transform a room. The first project almost everyone starts with is coasters. They sound small, and they are small, but that's exactly why they're the perfect starting point. A coaster takes maybe 20 minutes once you know the stitch. It uses barely any yarn, and it gives you an instant, functional piece for your coffee table. The best part is you can match them to literally anything. Got a specific shade of green in your living room that you can never find in stores? You can make it. Coasters also make a great test run for color combinations before you commit to a bigger project. So if you're nervous about starting, this is where to begin. Once you're comfortable with basic stitches, pillow covers are next. And honestly, this is where crochet decor starts to really shine. A store-bought pillow cover is flat, it's usually one texture, and it's designed to look fine from far away, but kind of boring up close. A crocheted pillow cover has actual texture built into it. Depending on the stitch you use, you can get a chunky, cozy look, or something tighter and more refined that looks almost woven. And because you're choosing the yarn yourself, you're not stuck with whatever colors happened to be trending when the factory made that season's batch. You pick the exact tone that fits your space, and that alone makes a room feel more put together than any store-bought set ever could. After pillows, a lot of people move on to plant hangers. And if you have any plants in your house at all, this one is worth trying just for how much it changes a space. A hanging plant does more for a room than almost anything else you can add. It brings the eye upward, it fills empty corners, it adds life, literally. But the plastic or basic macrame hangers you find in stores all look the same. And honestly, a lot of them look kind of flimsy. A crocheted plant hanger has more structure to it, more personality, and you can make the length exactly right for your ceiling height and your specific plant. It's one of those small details that people notice, even if they can't quite say why your space feels different from everyone else's. Then there are baskets, and this is where crochet decor becomes genuinely useful, not just pretty. Crocheted baskets can hold blankets, magazines, toys, plants, remote controls, basically anything you want out of sight but still looking nice. Using a thicker yarn or even fabric strips instead of regular yarn gives the basket enough structure to actually hold its shape and hold weight. What I love about this project specifically is that it solves two problems at once. It gives you storage, which every home needs more of, and it gives you a decor piece. So you're not choosing between function and style, you're getting both in one object you made yourself. Wall hangings are another huge category, and this is where people tend to get the most creative. You can make simple geometric shapes, circles, diamonds, layered fringe pieces that hang from a wooden dowel, anything really. A crocheted wall hanging brings warmth and texture to a wall in a way that a framed print just can't. Prints are flat, they're behind glass, they keep you at a distance. A crocheted piece is dimensional. It has shadow and depth depending on the light in the room, and it changes slightly throughout the day as the light moves. That's something mass-produced wall art will never be able to do. If you're ready for a bigger challenge, rugs are next, and I'll be honest, this one takes patience. But a crocheted rug, especially made with thick yarn or even old t-shirt strips, becomes the kind of piece that people ask about the second they walk into the room. It's soft, it's warm underfoot, and because it's handmade, no two rugs ever come out exactly the same, which means yours really will be one of a kind, not just marketed as one of a kind like a lot of store pieces claim to be. Table runners are a smaller cousin of the rug, and they're a great way to instantly upgrade a dining table or a console table without spending much on yarn at all. A simple lace-style stitch can look surprisingly elegant, almost like something you'd find in a boutique home store, except it cost you a few dollars in materials and an evening of your time instead of $50 at checkout. And if you really want to push things further, curtains and lampshades are both possible too. Crocheted curtain panels let soft, filtered light into a room in a way that regular fabric curtains can't quite match, because the open stitchwork creates this dotted, patterned light effect on the floor and walls as the sun moves through the day. That's something mass-produced wall art will never be able to do. Now, here's the moment that really made all of this click for me. I had been making small pieces for months, coasters, a couple of pillow covers, nothing huge. And then I decided to make a big basket for the living room, big enough to actually hold a blanket and some throws. It took me about 2 weeks of working on it here and there in the evenings. When I finally finished it and set it down next to the couch, my sister came over a few days later, and the very first thing she said walking through the door was, "Where did you get that basket? I need one." And when I told her I made it, she didn't believe me at first. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was actually changing how my space felt to other people, not just to me. That one basket got more comments in a single week than anything I had ever bought from a store. That's the difference between something mass-produced and something made with actual intention. People can feel it, even if they can't explain exactly why your space feels different from everyone else's. So here's what all of this really comes down to. Your home doesn't have to look like everyone else's home just because you're shopping at the same few stores as everyone else. Crochet gives you a way to make things that are actually yours, in your colors, your textures, your sizes, made for your exact space, instead of a generic showroom. You don't need to start with a rug or a full set of curtains. Start with a coaster, then try a pillow cover. Let it build from there. Every piece you make is one less thing in your house that looks like it came off a factory line, and one more thing that actually tells people something about who you are. If you want to see exactly how I made that basket step by step, hit subscribe because that tutorial is coming up next.
Wow.